Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 3 of the WDL recap. This is take 2 after some audio issues, and this week we are joined by JSauce. How's it going, buddy?
Hi, it's me again. So sorry I couldn't be here last week, but Sheep did a great job covering for me. Thanks again, Sheep.
Yeah, huge shout
I'm
out,
doing
Mr.
pretty
Sheep.
well. Glad to be here. Outside of prepping for my two matches this week, both of which been stressful. I'm feeling pretty good. How are you?
I'm alright, man. I've seen you win these games. You're gonna smash these games. But
Oh yeah, just
I'm glad to have you back. And
I'm
glad to
glad
get
to
into
be
it.
back.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about your team this week. Unfortunately missed out
Mhm.
on that last week, but couldn't be avoided. That's okay. We will get back into the swing of things now, talk about your team this week. But before we do, we have a new member of the WDL Zork division this season. We did unfortunately have a drop. Unfortunately, some IRL stuff came up for Kuroko, so shout out them. Everyone give them some love. Hope they're doing all right. But taking over in their slot, we have Punpun. Uh, Jay, you introduced me to Punpun. We met in ECA.
Mhm.
Really cool guy. Excited to take a look at their team, give them the brutal PR look over that we gave the rest of
Yeah,
the teams last time.
no one's safe.
No one is safe. Now, that being said, here's the team for our audio listeners. We have Terra Mismagius, Sneasler, Darkrai, Ursaluna, Baxcalibur, Klefki, Terra Araquanid, Regieleki, Articuno Galar, and Karkle.
God, I fucking love some Carcoal gaming.
Karkle Gaming! What an absolute
Absolute,
lad.
absolute lad.
So
Um,
these in our last recording, we mentioned that these are some like super iconic Punpun mons. So I
yes.
haven't talked too much with Punpun. We talked a bit during the ECA off season before I unfortunately had to drop. But I can definitely tell you, or I mean you know, but I can definitely tell everybody,
Yeah.
this Miss Magius is an iconic Punpun mon. What
Hold
else
on.
here we got our iconic Punpun mons?
So essentially, what they told me, um, is it's essentially their ECA off-seasons team with mixed with the NPBA off-season team,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where you get the Mismagius Sneasler Darkrai from.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure there may be a couple other mods that I'm missing, but yeah, I just know that Punpun absolutely cooked and made a great team surrounding those three Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm a big proponent of taking at least now I am, taking a mod, especially in your first couple of picks, and building around it rather than, like, I'm more
Having a
so
pile.
for synergy rather than straight power now.
Yeah, I
Um,
definitely. That
I
was one of my own
switched to that
shortcomings.
recently.
Yeah.
I was originally just a power fiend, but as I learned to hate top heavy teams, I realized that I'm more of a synergy player. It took
Mm-hmm.
me 4 years to realize that.
I think that's just good drafting in general. Is
It
like trying to
is.
build around the mons you have rather than just like having a checklist or like buckets to fill. Um, I used to, for a while, I was drafting just like, oh, I need this, I need this, I need that, without really thinking about the fact that like the team needs to be cohesive and work together. And
Mhm.
I will say, speaking of working together, I love these Terra captains. In our previous PRs, I talked a lot about how I really wanted to see like a singular, super powerful Terra captain to abuse the Terra rules. We didn't really see a pairing like this. I believe the only other pairing like this was Scalisopods, where like it's two Mons, neither are Terra merchants, both love being able to Terra. I really feel like Punpun got like 20 points worth of value out of two Mons, which I think it might
I
have been pretty
agree.
hard to do with our rule set.
I think arguably it could be over 20 points of mod
Yeah.
just because Miss Magius is such a good Pokemon. Levitate is just a top tier ability in
Mm-hmm.
general, and with Terra, it takes it to a new height, especially with Open Terra. where
Like your
you can
Terra
go from
Electric,
Terra
your Terra
Poison
Poison.
to Fire, Steel, Electric
Exactly.
from week to week. And then Araquanid, absolute menace. This Pokemon is so underrated,
For real.
and being able to Terra out the bug type is so nice. You could go Pure Water. You could just
Pure
go a
Water
lot
does
of
so
different
much
types.
damage.
Steel with Water Bubble
Yep.
to
Steel
make
with Water Bubble is amazing.
Fire neutral. It's just
Yeah, defensive Terras
I,
or Terra Water are going to be great on this thing.
I love how Punpun's both of his captains have a, how do I put this? Not damage reducing, quote unquote, or like a type reducing ability, like
They have
Levitate and
immunities.
Water Bubble.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. That you can
Water
like
Bubble's not
manipulate with Terra,
necessarily uh, an immunity, but yeah, you can manipulate it.
giving you that
And then
fire
you've got like
resist.
thermal exchange on backs as well.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know how I feel because I doubt it was on purpose because the team's not Fire Week or anything.
Yeah, I would
But
have
I just
almost loved
like
to see
how it
like a
is
Fire Week
naturally.
mod to take advantage of that.
Yeah. I mean, um, if I play this team, then I'm gonna cry because Darmanitan literally gets 6-0'd by everything.
Yeah,
But say Luffy,
I will say
like
something we touched on before that I'd like to touch on again in this recording is we talked about how we would have loved to see like a defensive pivot on a team like this, something like a Prima or the equivalent in terms of gameplay, where it comes in to take a hit and then slow pivots something like a Sneeze or a Mismag or a Darkrai in. I don't know if anything like that is still up on the board. We could check in a couple minutes if you like, but I
I'm
definitely would
sure
have liked to
there
see
is.
something like that.
Um, yeah, I'll touch on it a little bit more if you want to look through, see if there's any on the board.
Yeah,
But
yeah, let's
but
take a
yeah,
look.
so essentially, you know, if you don't know me for long, or if you haven't, I've been playing offense for all 4 years. I've been playing Pokemon pretty much, so I'm pretty well versed at it. And the one thing I realized that kind of kickstarted my success was realizing how crucial bulky pivots are into or with offensive teams or offensive mods. Now, I did play in Gen 8 where bulky pivots were king,
Hmm.
but it still kind of shifted how I started to draft teams. And I really think that that is where my success in draft started. That realization and realizing that I can be good if I know how to make an offensive team work. And so that was a lot of yapping for basically the point of
You
I
need
would
one of
love
these.
to see some. Yeah, you need one of these, right? I love like I just saw it. I saw Gligar. I used it. That mon is so
Yeah,
good at just doing
because
the same thing.
I was
It's
struggling to
cheap
find one
too.
that isn't a water.
Yeah, Tangrowth, but it doesn't have a pivoting move, but it does
Yeah,
similar stuff.
like the two best ones that are up right now are like Slowbro and like Tentacruel.
Yeah,
And it's just like I love Araquanid on this team, so I can understand why he wouldn't
I
have
do
shot for
too.
one of those, for sure. There's like an argument for something like Meloetta, if you want to go that direction. It's not like slow, but it can definitely take a hit on the special side and pivot in. Something
Yeah,
else?
the thing is, like,
It's
it's gonna
the
have a
remaining
hard time.
options aren't great, right?
Yeah, you can't just like slap it on like right now. You have to kind of rework more than a few mods to kind
Yeah,
of do it because like I see something like Umbreon, but if you want to use Darkrai, you're not going to pick up both of them.
I think you could,
You could in theory,
but
but
then like the
it
other
just
problem is
feels
we have
weird.
like these two weak to fighting, right? We have Ursaluna and Max that
Exactly,
are also weak to fighting. Carkol
and
is weak to fighting.
Klefki doesn't resist it.
Yeah, your fairy doesn't resist fighting.
Miss Mag Terra's.
Yeah, like Sneeze is not a fighting resist, you know? Like
I almost wonder if it could have been something other than like Articuno. Immediately, my mind went to what's it called, Farigiraf, but it's you probably just need the fighting resist. So I don't know. Anyways, not here to try to like
Hmm. It could have been
point
like
a
this
gun to Pun Pun.
Electros.
Yeah,
Like a
I'm not here to like
Electros is
point
an option.
a gun at Pun Pun's head. Say you like pick up a bulky pivot now.
Hmm.
It's
We just
just
would have
something
liked
to
to see it.
consider. Yeah, that archetype like which touched on earlier. You got your Primarias, Milotic, Mandibuzz, Raging
Hmm.
Bolt to an extent. Like just a really fat mod that just loves to spam a pivot move
Hmm. Like, and I think there's an
because
argument to replace like Regieleki with one of them. Like, I'd imagine he wants it because of it being a spinner and because of the speed
yep.
tier. But we do have two premier speed Mons already in Darkrai and Sneasler, and he likely wants to bring these to every game anyways. Could maybe
Mhm.
see something like an Electros or some other kind of low, cheap, bulky pivot coming if he
Yeah.
wants to make those kind of trades.
I just I just think this team lacks a little bit of momentum in general,
Yeah, we have a
um,
whole bunch of Mons
which
that love
isn't great
having
with
momentum
Darkrai,
into.
Luna, Bax, and Mismag
Yeah.
all being win cons.
I feel
Also,
like
I guess we haven't touched on this Articuno Galar that does get U-turn.
it
May I add?
does.
And it's
I
it's
like this
relatively
Mon, but
bulky.
the typing does it no favors,
Yeah, I feel
unfortunately.
like it's a Terra Merchant. I'm not gonna lie.
It is. It absolutely is a Sarah Merchant. Which is a shame, because it's such a cool Mon.
It is. It really is.
I honestly, I feel like this Ursaluna and this Bax, one of them should probably go.
Probably,
If we're
but I
trying
see
to
the vision.
pull up,
Ursaluna
like,
absolutely punches holes in steel types for backs.
yeah, but Bax can punch holes in steel types for Bax against Earthquake.
Yeah, but you
That's
don't
like a
want
million
to have
attack.
to run Earthquake every week.
Yeah. I don't know. They're both
I
fighting
don't
weak.
know.
They're both like very similar. Is my problem with them. And
Yeah,
like we
I get
need
it.
momentum. We need
Ursal,
hazards. Like I want another Stealth Rocker.
Ursaluna, when I used it, both times I've used it, came AV pretty much
It's an
exclusive.
AV merchant, right? I heard similar things from other people.
It's not necessarily a merchant, you're just running it two-thirds the week.
Hmm.
Or two-thirds the weeks. It can be successful without it. Um, but you're running four attacks on it most of the time, so why not bring an AV?
Yeah,
Unless it's a Bands week or Guts week.
I just
Like
feel
there's no
like
reason to not run AV.
I don't hate them. I just feel like we need the room elsewhere.
Maybe. I
Like
don't know.
Sneeze and
Overall,
Darkrai is already a lot of our project.
I like the team a lot. It's gonna
No,
take
for
some
sure.
creative thinking to work or to get into the top echelon of teams. It's gonna take some creative thinking prep
Hmm.
wise, but I definitely see ways that it can happen.
I think part of the struggle is like this is a transaction team, right? Like
Yeah,
it's really rough to try and put together a functional team
for
out of
sure.
like
All of
the
the
ashes.
criticism has to be taken with a grain of salt for that reason.
Exactly. It's not
Uh,
100% fair to compare in the same way.
Honestly, I do like how this team can just win a game in under 20 turns, though, with Clefty
Yeah, for
Screen
sure.
Slash Iraq Sticky Webs and like five hitters.
Mhm. Definitely
I
a
really
scary
do
team
like
for like a
this.
team like mine.
It is. I just, yeah, I don't know. I don't love how much Arakuno is picking up slack defensively.
Yeah, because it can,
Ground type
right?
and fighting type. It's your ground type and fighting type
Well,
answer.
Miss Mag and Iraq can still ground hits,
Yeah,
right?
I guess actually, but this mag is so frail physically that it doesn't want
They,
to.
Iraq isn't great physically. It's like fine, but you really want it
Yeah,
so
plus
special.
Stone Edge,
Yeah, exactly.
Edgequake.
And like Stone Edge is
But to
hitting
be
Articuno as
fair,
well.
yeah, to be fair, they both have Terra, which means you can just like Terra into a resist.
Hmm.
But I just don't know. I feel like both of them are so crucial for that ground type and fighting type gaping hole weakness, and they can both tear out of that type if they so want.
And like our
They
only
so
Fizz Def
desperately want.
Mon is weak to fight. It's like, what is taking our
Yeah,
close combat? It's probably gonna have to be the Articuno, right?
yeah. It's gonna be full Fizdef Iraq, probably,
Yeah.
or Articuno.
I don't know. I kind of wish this Bax had been the gouging fire that he dropped. I feel like
I
gouging
don't know.
fire would have been like completely fine to keep.
I don't know. I feel like it's got similar issues as Bax on this team. It's just not a nice type. Like fire is
Yeah,
just a better type in
I just
general.
like the typing way more for like what you're gonna need this mon to do on this team.
Was Bax cheap? Bax was a few points cheaper though.
Yeah, but we're not getting great value out of those points. I feel like we're pretty top heavy.
Yeah, but if it allows you to get Articuno Galar instead of something that
Well, it allows us to
is
get
a few
Carkle,
steps down, yeah, Carcoal is
but I think
absolutely sick on this team.
the upgrade for gouge is just better. I don't know, because we need
Hold on
something
a
that can
sec.
soak physical hits.
Oh, Articuno Galar's 8 points. Ugh, it's a little higher than I expected. But let's do some math. Let's do some math here. Where's Bax calculator? So Bax is 3 points cheaper than Articuno,
Then
meaning that
yeah, then gouge.
if you want a psychic or a flyer, the downgrade is from Articuno to Sigilyph/Zatu.
Well, I
I
think
actually
the Reggie Lucky is also soaking up points. Like I would love, like, I don't mind these top four plus like Kleski Araquanid, but I think you could
you just
shuffle
need a
Bax
spinner
plus the
in
bottom
that
three.
dex though. So I don't absolutely hate it. There are a bunch of low tier electrics though. Like
You
maybe
you
it's a
need a
mega
spinner for
main
which?
team for just Nat decks in general.
I don't know. I mean, we talked to my team, and I have Victini, and I'm still getting along fine without.
Maybe the answer is just you go 2 points cheaper and grab Mega Main.
Yeah, I would love to. That also, yeah, I would love to see Mega Main over the Electri.
But yeah, if Gouge could fit, obviously not
It's a
now,
bit
but
late now. Yeah.
yeah. I'm just saying the Articuno Galar could have went to Zatu or Sigilyph, which I think I would have liked to see a little more. Sigilyph's just really stupid.
What I would have loved is just in general. So I like the top four. I like Clefgil, I like Iraq, but I would love to see more momentum and more defensive like pivots out of the other four Mons worth of points. Um, a more consistent rocker and spinner than Karkle. I know we like Karkle, but let's be honest with ourselves. We would rather have like something a little more reliable as our only rocker.
It's a 1/2 point mon for a reason.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Especially in that decks when everything gets EQ and
I
knockoff
feel like it's
installed.
kind of a Terra Merchant too. Like I feel like both of his bottom
Eh,
two are Terra Merchants.
it's arguable. I've used Carcoal without Terra before. It's not bad.
I don't know. I
Um, yeah.
I just yeah, I would have loved to see something other than Bax and something other than the bottom three
I,
because I
I think
like
we're
the
getting a
rest of the stuff we
little.
have.
I think we're getting a little nitpicky because realistically,
Well,
Punpun can play
I have to be
offensive
nitpicky.
well.
I was nitpicky with everybody else. I'm gonna
Fair
nitpick him
enough.
just as hard as everyone else. That's the
Fair
PR's
enough.
treatment.
I just want to give him a little more praise because I feel like if you're in the mindset of an offensive player and you have experience and at high level offensive play, this team can just come in and dominate. And
Yeah, I don't hate the
we're
team at
gonna,
all. I'm just being nitpicky
yeah,
for like the sake of
um,
PRs.
yeah. So glad to have you here, Pun Pun. I know
Yeah,
you're probably
absolutely.
listening. Um, yeah. I hope I don't play you. I do
We
for
can check.
content, but I'm scared.
We can check. Where are you?
I don't because I play week 8.
Yeah, don't smudge.
Okay. Ooh,
Do I? I
that's a
do
good
not.
question.
Man,
Man,
man.
what the heck?
That's the worst part about being in a league with all your friends. I want to play against everybody.
Exactly.
We need 15-week seasons.
I agree. Okay, so I
Don't
think
don't
that's
agree
enough
to that shit.
pun.
All
I
right.
think that's enough
Yeah.
meat writing for
Yeah.
now. For now, of course. Um,
You want to hop into your team?
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. You gotta pull it up.
Here we go.
Yeah, so this
Figure
shit
I'll
is
pull it up
just.
in his while we're here.
Have you ever sniffed glue as a child and you're
What?
thinking, man, I'm
How do
so
I answer
badass,
this?
like
No. How do I
thinking
answer
that
this
you're the
question?
shit? Well, that's how playing this game feels. Like, I don't know how else to explain it.
It's a very cute team.
Uh, it is. It
Looks like a
is.
lot of fun to play.
It is. Also, I just realized tried to send something to you on Discord. I accidentally sent it to Punpun.
Nice.
Uh, nice. So I'm just
For
gonna
our
send you
audio
it now.
listeners, while Jay figures this out, audio listeners,
Sorry.
Jay has Great Tusk, Terapagos, Screamtail, Ogerpon Wellspring, Hisuian Gudra, Pterodar Manitan, Bellybolt Crobat, Mega Absol, Terracursula, and a Kricketune. Well, that's Pete.
Yeah. So this shit is just. It's a little bulky slash defensive for
Mm-hmm.
my liking. Um, but I'm really excited to use it. So for those who don't know, before the draft, my whole goal it was originally to build around Flamigo and Mega Absol. Well, that got really tough super fast, so I ditched Flamigo. And Absol has been Mega Absol specifically is the only Pokemon form or only Pokemon that I like more than Tropius. It's my favorite form ever. I think it's got the best design I've ever seen in my life, and I knew I wanted to use it. And so the way Wish and I
Such a cool
were in the
mod.
lab, Wish and I were in the lab, and we decided on Great Tusk. It fits all the stuff that Mega Absol wants to have as a high tier at least. It's a fighting type to hit other darks, and uh, my mind's blanking. What other types resist dark other than fairy?
Uh,
Is it just fairy
yeah,
and
that
dark?
should be it. Because bug
Okay,
doesn't resist.
okay. Anyways, uh,
It
it's a
cooks other
spinner.
darks. Yeah, it's a
It
spinner.
put it cooks
Rocker.
other darks. Rocker. It's just very versatile, which I think Mega Absol enjoys.
It solves a lot of the problems that you and I have with drafts, where like we don't actually enjoy a lot of the high tier mons, but we
Mm-hmm.
also like I don't know about you, me personally, I'll often leave drafting like good reliable grounds, good reliable rockers, good reliable spinners way later than I should, and then by the time I want to, it's gone. So just taking Tusk as like your veggies for the draft, like it just
Yeah,
lets you do so much more with the rest of the team because you know Tusk will always be able to do what you need it to do.
I've wanted to use Tusk for a while. Originally, I didn't think it was that like good in draft or worth a first round pick, and since then I've been proven wrong,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm really liking it. I wanted to use it in SPS. Unfortunately, it got taken first pick overall, so that wasn't happening.
That's a little too
Um,
early.
well, yeah, because I got it what pick 7,
Yeah,
I think.
which
But
is
yeah,
about
it
where I'd
just
want to see it first pick.
yeah. So as a whole, it just for the stuff that would be in the pick 7 range, it just felt like the best option available. Mainly because I also want to try out Terapagos.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it doesn't really do anything for Mega Absol and Great Tusk other than just be a rocker and spinner as well,
Well, it really
and a setup
appreciates
fiend.
both of them.
Yeah, it because the thing is, ghost types. I don't know how prevalent they are in WDL because I know Dragapult's there, but Spec is gone. But Mega Absol is not taking two Shadow Balls
It's really
from like Choice Spec's pull. I'm pretty sure it
it's
doesn't.
not.
And so having that option for Terapagos is extremely nice,
But
especially when we pair it with my favorite Wish Passer in the game. What I think is the best Wish Passer in the game, and
mhm.
additionally, what I think is the most annoying Pokemon in the game,
I don't
Douche
know. I
Tail.
think there's like a couple more, but maybe. I
No,
mean, we have
Douche
Zama
Tail
banned, so
is Douche Tail to me is the most annoying mon draft, and I get to have it with Terapagos and Great Tusk, and that feels
mhm.
super nice. I saw what you were doing in SPS with Screamtail Terapagos. I'm like, I have to have this
It's
shit.
such a disgusting combination. Basically, what
Yeah,
happens, for those who don't know, is Screamtail can Wish Pass to Terapagos, who will take a hit off of its Terra Shell, making any hit resisted, or taking like rocks damage, and then the Wish will heal it afterwards, giving it back the Terra Shell. It makes it basically guaranteed that this model will come in and do whatever it wants.
it's
And it
similar to
really
multi-scale.
appreciates a lot of the support you've given it. It loves the fact that Absol both bounces rocks for it and kills ghosts for it, so it can maybe not be on boots every week. It loves that Tusk can set up spins for it so that it doesn't have to be on boots. It
Scream takes
loves
fighting.
so much. Yeah,
Yeah, and it also appreciates Scream Thunder Waves,
yeah, yeah, it really does.
which
Because it
is
doesn't always
huge,
want to be on rock polish.
or Rapid Spin.
Like the trap people
But yeah,
fall into with this mon is it's not a utility mon. It really wants to set up. So having all these supportive tools like the Tusk, the Screamtail, and the Absol really let it do what it actually wants to do, which is just like set up and kill people.
and at this point in the draft, I was talking with Wish. We both agreed that obviously taking picks based off a certain type you shouldn't like ever do. But I know that I needed a water and steel and wanted two top heavy ones, or just two really good ones.
Reliable.
A bulky water was in my mind, but I looked at all the ones that were available. I fucking hate all of them. They're just carbon copies of each other, and I do not enjoy that shit anyways. That you got the Tentacruels, the Milos,
Pretty nuts.
Blastoise, and then you
Blastoise.
got stuff like Gastrodon,
Suicune.
Quagsire. I just don't like any of those. Aloe. So I
God,
opted
Allo.
for I opted for one of my favorite draft Pokemon. Just because it's so stupid. Ogerpon Wellspring is not the typical bulky water you want. It's on similar levels of bulk to like Keldeo and Manaphy. It's in that range. So
You don't want it to take too
it,
many hits, I
you,
feel.
yeah, but it can if it has to.
Typing doesn't look
Similar to the
great.
Monsang. And I feel like with Terra, that stuff doesn't matter as much. Obviously, it depends on your captains, but in the rule set. But I don't know. I'm starting to figure out that I can get away with a lot more holes in my team. Now I Gudra. Um, it wasn't the first mod I thought of, but based on the other mods I wanted, knowing that Mega Absol is single type, and I really wanted Darmanitan as a Terra Captain, single type, I figured combining my Steel and the Dragon wasn't the worst thing ever, and it fits in pretty well with the rest of the team. It quote unquote beats fairies, mainly because it can just hit them super effectively,
It's a great
but
partner
not
for
being able to
Screamtail too. It
take
really loves Wish support.
exactly. I don't love being neutral to Moonblasts, but it's whatever. But yeah, knew I wanted Darmanitan. My team was lacking momentum, lacking another true wall breaker like Ogerpon can be, Great Tusk can be. Both of them love to run plus speed natures a little bit too much for me. So, and Darmanitan could just run Adamant Twist Scarf and absolutely fuck everything that doesn't resist it. Like
140
choice
does so much attack.
choice banded Terrifier Darmanitan does 60% minimum to max road wash.
Yeah, this guy's a fucking
It's
beast.
doing like it's doing like 55 minimum to Skeledirge.
Hmm.
Like this shit is insane. But yeah, Darmanitan, similar to its Galarian counterpart, gets a rep of being a choice scarf merchant, which it kind of is. Doesn't have to be, but it can be.
Let's just rip
It
through
just
bulky teams with Life Orb, right?
it just wants to click Terrifier, Flare Blitz. It's similar to Victini, kind of. Less versatility, but Victini with Terra just wants to click
I'm
Recreate.
also paying like quite a bit more, right? I feel like you get a good
Four
deal with Darm.
points. Or
You get
wait,
like a
6 points.
second
6
captain.
points. Yeah. But yeah, outside of that, I had to go with my boy, young base lord Bellybolt himself. Just such a good Pokemon. Loves Screamtail Wish. It loves a lot of things. Like Ogerpon to take those ground moves, and my next pick, Crobat, takes those ground moves. Uh, I felt like it was less about what Bellybolt loves rather than what loves Bellybolt here.
Yeah,
Because like Great Tusk, Terapagos all love getting the paras, slow pivoting out, getting slow pivots in. Um, it's just really nice to
yeah, it's
have.
a great mon game.
It's it's also similar to Screamtail, just super annoying. With Toxic and Muddy Waters, it can hit ground types now. I
Hmm.
guess it had Muddy Water before, but Toxic's super good on it because Slack Off with its bulk is
It just forces
really
like
hard to
progress in
break.
a lot of matchups.
Mhm. It can completely plateau something that otherwise could wreck through my team.
Hmm.
Yeah, outside of that, Crobat, I need the speed tier, needed a poison type, needed a flying type.
Hmm.
Perfect. It's honestly pretty versatile. It's
It
usually
really is.
used as a fast support, but looking more into it, it's like really versatile. Last week I ran Banded Brave Bird. It can
With
run.
hypnosis on your bandit
Yeah,
set. He
and I hit the one hypnosis I clicked, which is huge.
huge.
Um, but yeah, it just gets a lot of good support moves, and it acts as kind of like a glue piece
Yeah,
to the other months I've checked. Like it's not coming every week. I'd be surprised if it came half the weeks.
it's like
But
a much cheaper version of like your Meow or your Gren or your Cinderace or whatever other like
exactly,
fast
it
pivot.
doesn't it doesn't have the
The raw power.
cleaning power
Yeah,
as those
it's
two,
gonna
but
get
it
stuff
does
in
very
position.
similar stuff. I mean, it's gonna click U turn. It's gonna click Brave Bird. It's gonna click like Super Fang
Type of
or
mon that
Toxic
really,
and
yeah, Super
Roost.
Fang especially is huge on this. Like Super Fang Toxic Taunt
It's
is
yeah,
really good.
it can just be a very good stall breaker. Which,
Hmm.
other than Darmanitan, I didn't really have something like that.
Something I
Like
like about this is
Ogerpon
it
can, I
really
guess.
values like a creative builder.
Hmm.
Like a
And I
creative
feel
builder is
like
going to
I'm
be able to
getting
do a
to that
lot more.
stage. Honestly,
Hmm.
I feel like I'm getting to that level
Yeah,
where I
definitely.
can finally try out Crobat. I really did initially think that he was a fraud, but I think I was playing like not good enough players with it to really expose me. Like
Yeah, you got to like build it
in
yourself, right?
NPDA 8, I did not expect it to come to the match I played it in, and it came in. Banded Bravebird claimed 3 kills
Hmm.
and lost me the game, and that's when I really started to put respect on it.
Hmm.
Then obviously Mega Apps, so I talked about it. I didn't go into detail. It can be physical, special. The really like on paper it looks good. Why it's considered bad is because the speed tier isn't fast enough anymore, and the defense is absolute dog shit.
Yeah, it's extremely frail, so it
Respectfully,
can't always like you want to have it come in on like rocks and stuff, but then it can come in on an attack and just die. But
like
like the
additionally,
offensive profile is pretty fucking good. The
it gets
coverage isn't
great
amazing,
coverage.
but you built the team in such a manner that it really just wants to click a dark move over and over anyways.
I like the coverage, especially on mixed or special sets.
Mm-hmm.
I do. I'm a fan. It also gets Willow and maybe T-Wave.
Yeah,
Like I know last week I ran knockoff Willow, play rough,
it does get T-Wave, yeah.
Fiddler.
Right here. Here's your boy.
Oh yeah. I ran Willow for the Meow and Quack switches. Didn't get to click it, unfortunately. Got caught off guard by an Aqua Jet and Folion.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, it happens. But additionally, Dark type is just such a good type in draft that you just everyone gets one before the late rounds. And if you do get one in the late rounds, you're not picking Mega Absol.
Yeah, you either have a premier dark type or you don't usually have a dark type.
Yeah.
Um,
Additionally, it gets Baton Pass as a pivoting move, but it just can't afford to run that very often. It would love Parting
it,
Shot. They should absolutely
it
give
would
this
love
thing Parting
parting
Shot,
shot or
like
like U-turn.
DLC3. If there is a DLC3, I don't know if
I
there
don't
is
think
or
there
not,
is
but
DLC3,
they should give it
unfortunately.
Parting Shot. Yeah, and then finally, I was looking at what Terra Cats I wanted, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't know if I put Darmanitan as 16 instead of 14 in my points column or what, or it's just what I had left. I decided that I needed a ghost type, and
Mm-hmm.
I looked through the 4 pointers because I believe the 4 point Terra went up to 5. Not sure about that.
Let me check. I believe so, though.
I'm not. I'm not sure exactly what I was cooking. I just knew that I needed a good. Or I needed a ghost
Yeah,
type,
4
and I
bumps to
needed a.
5.
Yeah, so I think I was looking at 3 pointers to Terra, thinking that it was 4 points, some shit like that. I don't even know. Um, but I fell upon Cursula, and I could use the extra special attacker. I could use the ghost type.
It really is a great fit here, I'm going to be honest.
I started to really like it because the main thing that fucks over Cursula and Corsola Galar, other than its AI generated stat spread, um, is ghost type. Like as good as ghost type is, knockoff is way too prevalent in national decks for it to not Terra, which is
Yeah,
why I like Cursula over Corsola. And I'm having deja vu because I feel like I said this exact same thing on record. Knockoff is too good of a move to draft either without Terra. You put like Terra Fairy, Terra Fighting on this thing though, now you're cooking.
yeah, because it's
Dark
going to
types
proc
are way
Perish
too
Body when
good.
you hit it.
Dark types, ghost types, way too good in draft
Mm-hmm.
to have a mod like this not be able to Terra. Because I think it's not unbringable, but you bring this to one game if it doesn't have
It
Terra.
loses to like
I
every opposing dark or ghost type, right? Because you're
mhm.
never
it,
outspeeding them, so they're always
it
gonna
doesn't
like
have
shadow ball
it
you or
doesn't
whatever
have
beforehand.
yeah, it doesn't have D Gleam, it doesn't have Focus Blast, I don't think. It's kind of a Terra merchant, but it doesn't have Terra Blast,
It's
so it
that
makes it a
cheap for a
little
reason, right?
wonky.
I still think
I
you could
yeah,
value out a
it's
defensive Terry. You have like you the set you brought
you can
with
because it's got
Strength
Hex,
Zap and
it's got Willowish, Strength Sap.
yeah, it's more of
It's
a defensive utility mon, which you would
it
not
is, which
immediately think with 145 attack, but
well, I mean
the move
that's
pool
really
really,
why I
really lends up to that
drafted
role.
it. That's why I drafted. I felt like I needed another defensive pawn
Hmm.
other than Belly Bolt, Gudra, Screamtail.
Yeah, I like it a
I feel
lot
like with
here.
Terra,
You're on about like you weren't sure what you were thinking. I don't know, man. I like the pick a lot. I think
I
it's
do
great.
too. I'm really glad I made it. If given the chance, it literally claimed 6 kills week one. Uh, Unfortunately, Darmanitan and Mega Absol already did that, but um, it
Bro said
it's
unfortunately.
a
You won the
really
game. What are you
really
talking about?
fair enough. I want to see a Cursula clinic though. Like I respect Terragos Shadow Ball into no resistances. I every single calc was like 95% nin.
Yeah, bro does have 145 attack. Do you have any
Yeah,
like trick room stuff you can do with it?
I was lagging tail screen tail
Right.
trick room baton pass.
Based.
But yeah, and then Cricketune is just there to click webs if I need it.
Yeah.
I had 1 point
Shitter
left,
for
I
webs.
think. Yeah, it's just the classic 1 point shitter with that may have a niche. It's like the Frogadier type archetype where you just
Not even. I
bring
think
it.
this is better than Frogadier.
I do too, but like it's that same type of thing where you might bring it once,
Yeah.
click one, slap a sash on it, click one move, die,
Exactly.
and hope it affects the game.
Yeah. What else are you gonna get out of your 1 point? Really?
Morgrim, but it was 2 points because
Yeah,
I
because
put
that
you on
mon is like a
Morgrim.
2 to 3 point mon. It's just goaded.
Uh,
I
yeah.
love that
Anyways,
guy.
this team's goaded. I'm a little disappointed I lost last week. Obviously, Static Luck had some influence, but I didn't play up to my standard, and I think that's partially on me playing on mobile and being impatient. But maybe it's spawned a good thing because Evil JSauce mode starts now. It's time to lock in.
You needed a wake up call, and the wake up call was playing on mobile and going 0 for 5 on static pairs.
Hey,
Holy.
technically, I looked back at it. I went 1 for 6. I just I needed it to be earlier,
Yeah, you needed it to be earlier.
or I needed the para. I think, but I don't even think that would have saved me.
Yeah, Crook played it well.
Yeah, he played extremely well. He's cooking. I'm
Yeah, he's
not
cooking
upset to
this.
lose to Crook because he's one of our friends and
Yeah.
he's cooking. It just sucks a little bit to lose to starter team.
Hey,
Very
he's cooking.
humbling.
Honestly,
Yeah,
I've liked his team since
I can't be
PRs. His
mad.
team's great.
I
He just
just
has a
can't.
bunch of
I
good
can't be
mons.
mad. Time to lock in.
Mm-hmm.
Happy? Your skull is getting crushed. Respectfully, I'm calling my shot now.
Will this go up before your game? When's your game for this week? For
Tonight.
week 3? Tonight. This might not go
So
up in time. So Happy or your skull will probably have been crushed by the time this goes up.
it's gonna
We'll
be
see.
it's
I'll
gonna
try
be
and speed
so
run
hype.
uploading.
It's gonna be so hype if I call this shit and then win. But I think I might drive off a bridge if I call it and then lose.
Bro shit talks, loses, and the shit talking gets aired after he lost. Oh no.
You know the GIF I always send you of Peter
Yeah,
Griffin
Peter
driving
Griffin
off the
driving off a
Yup,
bridge or
that's
off a
me.
cliff.
Yeah. Anyways, kind of goaded.
Yeah, I love your team.
That's all I have to say. It's very unique. Like it
It's
looks like
very
a
you.
list of randomized mod, but I'm glad.
This
I
feels like a much more cohesive and like non. How would you put it? How do I put this? Non joining 2 weeks in and building off of transactions version of Punpun's team,
Yeah,
right? Like
it's
the
pretty
similar
similar.
vein of like offensive team, um, with like defensive. How do you put it? Like
Yeah,
you're gonna have to be creative for some of your defensive stuff, but I do like
neither
that you
one of
have
us has
like
true walls, but we have defensive Pokemon,
yeah, like you have defensive
defensive-ish
Screamtail and
Pokemon.
Goodra.
Yeah, like it's honestly very similar.
Hmm. Yeah.
I feel like
Anything
there's
else you want to
something else
talk
I'm
about for
gonna
your
say.
week 2 game that happened, or can I jump into mine?
Um, I don't know. Hold on a sec. Let me pull up the paste. Other than Hypnosis, Choice Band's Crobat hitting the only switch into Brave Bird.
Hmm.
Um, that was pretty hype. I don't think anything else was that creative, other than the Will-O-Wisp um, 3 attack
Absol.
Absol that got murked. Oh, I did want to mention the Cursula set. Whirlpool, Strength Sap, Shadow Ball Protect with Perish Body. Unfortunately, I fucking choked and thought that it was like Seed Sower,
I
which
saw what you did, and I was like, "Oh no, I know exactly what happened here, and I know exactly where we went wrong."
so
Oh no.
I read it and my eyes did not work. I guess because I took it as seed sower, where any hit like procs it. I didn't think
Hmm.
about it like mummy or anything like that, and unfortunately, I tossed it to a Skeledirge because I got greedy and thought that it would work, and that's really where everything started to go downhill because it kind of manhandled
Yeah.
Quack as well as Meowscarada, and not having that means that I just kind of lost to both of them,
Hmm.
which means I wouldn't
Feels
have had
bad,
to bank
man.
off a Belly Bolt Static Para.
Still though,
But yeah,
excited to see how
we
your
can
team
talk
goes
about
going forwards. We'll
time
definitely
two.
keep touching
Oh,
back on how
I know
things
what
go
I was
throughout
going
the
to talk
season.
about.
Hmm?
I was just going to quickly mention, escaped my mind earlier, that I'm already like planning a video if I win with this team because I watched Wolf Glick's video about how he brought Executor to a tournament
Hmm.
last night. That's like why I was up so late, and I
Your
got
house was up to
inspired.
like 2
So
a.m.
if I win with this team in WDL, I will do a video similar to that. I already decided.
Oh, hell yeah.
I've been thinking about it, and I'm willing to put in all that effort to make a banger video about my favorite Pokemon.
We'll see. You gotta get through me first, boss man. Unfortunately.
I'm worried about fucking sheep. I'm, I want that smoke. I
I
want the
beat
run
Sheep!
back.
Give me some credit! Not with you.
Well,
Fuck,
I
fuck
already beat you
electric
once
terrain.
in the last couple weeks.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, I'm on like a fucking 10 loss streak in any league that isn't my own. Oh, it's
No,
so
you have no
chilled.
idea. At the beginning of last WDL season, I think I was on like a 16 losing streak
I
before,
remember.
not including WDL. WDL was my only wins
That doesn't make me
week in
feel
and
any
week
better. My
out.
ass is chain losing too. What do
Anyways,
you
yeah, let's
mean?
go into your battle. Let's
Yeah.
go.
So I meant to save paste, so I want to start like saving my pastes so I can show them on. Um,
Oh, you don't have them. I have folders with.
oh, I just pave teams after I'm done with them. But yeah, I should probably.
I used to
I'll
do
start
that, and then
saving
I'm like,
my WDL teams.
I used to do that, and then I'm like, oh, what happens if I actually win a league? First
Hmm.
off, I've never been to finals. What the fuck is that mindset? But it's mainly so if what's it called? Rematches happen in
Yeah,
playoffs. That's why I do it. That's why I started saving folders.
that's smart. So my week 2 game, this was versus
Hey,
Shadow. This was pre-transactions, so before I picked up like this team here, the Greninja, or sorry, the Zygarde, Nihilego, all that. So it's back to the original team. Um, I was like super unhappy with my prep into Shadow, and it definitely made me like double down on knowing that I needed to fix my team when we did Second Grace, and I barely like. I think I played pretty well, but my prep was definitely letting me down. I was on No Stabs Victini. I was on like special Victini with Terra Ground, Scorching Sands, and like Glaciate and stuff. Um, and a lot of other like more defensive passive stuff that just was not respecting Arboliva. And Shadow got the Terra Arboliva in, and it put in a whole ton of work. Took me a lot to break it. Luckily, towards the end of the game, I was able to position Greninja in a favorable spot, and it ended the game on the spot with Battle
yeah,
Bond. I was able to like force
that's what
progress against a bunch of his Bonds, and then Greninja ended the game.
I thought. Gren was a fraud, and then I played one like a couple months ago, and it really made me realize why Greninja is so good. It's prepping for it. It's just applying big pressure battle. You get
Hmm.
something low, Amon dies or pivots out, you send a Greninja, then you're forced to switch out or get this thing plus ones.
Yeah, it's Battle Bond is such a
It's
crazy ability. It's so
yeah.
unreal.
Remember Ash Greninja?
I try not to think about it. Yeah, it's wild that
Also,
that shit was even better than it is now.
yeah. Also, this just in, I believe I'm making a logo for Punpun.
Oh, nice. Excellent.
Just wanted to mention that.
That's awesome. We'll
I'm
showcase
gonna
that
have to
next week.
see how good it goes. Yeah.
Yeah. Um,
Oh, yeah.
huge,
Continue with
another,
your
like,
battle.
I don't remember if it, I don't think it came in this game, but another huge boon to Greninja just in general. I know I've touched on it before. It's just the addition of Sludge Wave to its arsenal
Mhm.
is so nice. It's so important. And honestly, like, I
It
don't know
really
why
is.
this mon is like not tiered higher in a lot of leagues. This mon is, in my opinion, I think this is the best Dark type in draft right now. Um, I believe that it is better than Darkrai for sure. Like, I would just rather have this than Darkrai, and I think those are like the top two in contention.
Yeah.
And this thing just will always do something every game. It can be a Hazard's
I,
lead, it can be a Protean pivot, it can be a sweeper that ends the game with Battle Bond that just cleans up the whole game. It can
I
be Specs, it can be
believe
Scarf. It just does everything. I
I
love this mon.
believe I'm on record saying that I'd rather have Meowscarada, but after using Meowscarada for a little bit in WDL2 and SPS, I'd be interested to see how I like it compared to Greninja.
I think, yeah, I think you should give this mon a go. Although I will be probably first picking this thing for life if I get the opportunity, because I've just
Um,
completely fallen in love with it. But
Fair enough. I'm trying to think of good dark types. I think Meow's better than Darkrai.
I
I
would,
think
I
that
don't know if it's,
Greninja.
I would
I
just
think it's the
rather have
same
Meow
tier.
on my team.
I would too. It's easier to build
I think
with in
Darkrai
general.
is like more powerful,
Yeah, Darkrai is more
but I
powerful,
love
but
what these like pivots add to the team.
yeah, as an offensive player, I know I'm going to be saying that a lot. I think I'd rather just have a more versatile mod than absolute powerhouse as my top tier.
Yeah, like you can find a win condition in a mashup just by
You can
identifying
draft
which one of your
something like
mons has the
Darm.
weakest answers, right?
Yeah, you can draft Darm round 6,
Yeah, exactly.
like
Like the
stuff like
difference
that.
between, because like in a lot of the leagues we're going to be playing in, the top most like turbo broken offensive mons are likely banned. Like I have no interest in playing in leagues where the
Chien-Pao.
like deeply uncompetitive top tier is allowed. Yeah, stuff like Chien Pao and like fucking Spectrier. Like that shit is comical. But
Mods that
also like
force you to draft
Terra
different.
Captain is likely going to be the key offensive piece on your team, right?
Hmm. I
And
agree.
these like super fast pivots enabling them is awesome. That's what I've loved about my team
Anyways,
so far is Greninja and Victini. I mean, in my first 2 weeks, Greninja and Victini have been the only two mons that have picked up kills.
uh,
Oh,
that was all tangent to say that I think Urshifu is on the same plane as Meow and Darkrai, and I just
I would
have
just
not
rather
had
have
enough.
Meow.
I haven't had enough experience with Greninja to
I think
see
you'd love
where
it.
I put it.
I think you'd love it, honestly. It
And
like Meow has raw power from stuff like Triple Axle,
yeah.
but Gren has so much, like as much versatility and more because of stuff like Battle Bond.
Mhm. Oh, and another dark type Chien-Pao or Chi-Yu is
Yeah,
below Darkrai and stuff. Like to me, I'm gonna pull up see what dark types there are. Gambit, just
I
all
would
the ones in
almost rather have
contention are just.
Chi-Yu than Darkrai, but I don't know, that's tough. The speed tier is
I
hard to
like
argue with.
Darkrai. I like Darkrai speed.
I do want to try Darkrai at some point.
Okay, I'm trying to
I just
look
don't want
see
to
if there's
overpay for it.
anything.
Like right now, there's this wave in draft of people finally allowing this thing. I think I need to wait for the wave where people start appropriately pricing it.
Yeah, I mean it's like other ones in contention are it's like Gambit, and then after
Natix's
Gambit, you
Gambit is
kind of
pretty crazy though.
yeah. Outside of Gambit, and then like on the outer skirts, Hydreigon and Weavile that are good.
They're
but
they're
you're
not
never
in the
gonna
same.
say they're the best.
Yeah, they're not in the same realm.
Out,
They're solid, but
outside of that, it kind of has a drop off. So it's like I I just don't know. I'll need to use it to get a true consensus
mhm.
on it, but I think it's I don't know.
You brought up
Honestly,
Maddex
I
King
don't
Gambit now. Maddex
because
King Gambit is pretty fucking insane.
it's like I think it's harder to prep for. I don't know. It's probably hardest to prep for Greninja
Well, it has this whole other
over.
dynamic, right? Where like it could just be this Protean or Battle Bond sweeper that just ends the game, but it also
That's what I'm saying. Like Chi and what's the other one? Or Shifu.
you know
They
what
do
they're gonna
like
do.
pretty much one thing, so it's a lot easier to prep for. While they are very powerful, it doesn't take up all of your mind space.
Or like
It's interesting.
they have the power, but it comes at like a cost in on your team of like these mons ask things of your team, whereas
Yeah.
Greninja is providing for your team. I feel like
Mhm.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do. I do.
So
Do
yeah, I've
you
fallen in love with Greninja.
want to touch on the rest of your team first?
Um, it's a little hard to say because I was pretty disappointed with a lot of my team going into the transactions, but I did have Rillaboom, and I have absolutely loved this mon. I picked it up before week one in Grace or like in transactions, and I've just been so impressed with it in all of my games, all of my mocks. This mon just performs. I have no regrets tiering it slightly higher than most people would for WDL because this thing just performs every single game. Every single game, this thing just comes and it performs. So love this thing. Unfortunately, did end up dropping Zoroark. I think I am going through another phase where I will not play with this mon for a while, and then I'm sure at some point I will start taking it again. You know me. Um,
I just I'm looking at your new team right now. I think the problem was with Rillaboom being priced at 16, which is a couple points higher than it normally is. I think the problem was Core and Raging Bolt kind of felt like a point sink, right?
yeah,
That's like
absolutely. And like,
kind of why you made it.
I didn't love Corv. Like, I could have taken Corv on the new team, but I think Skarm just offers more of what I want, which is like
And
passive
it's cheaper.
damage. It's cheaper, but it offers like
Spikes and shit.
spikes and stealth rock, and I think
Which,
it's a better user of IDBP just because the defense stat is way better.
yeah.
It doesn't get U-turn, but like, so be it.
Well, the thing is, obviously, uh, they're not seeing your new team right now. Uh,
Yeah, I can pull it up.
yeah, I already have it pulled up. You go from Mudsdale to Zygarde, and Zygarde does not get rocks. It's one of the things I like least about it from my
Yeah,
like 4 weeks of using it. 5 weeks. It's really nice. I think in that case scenario, going down to Skarmory was the correct play to get some
yeah, it
semblance
gives me a
of
different
Havaser.
rocker, right?
Yeah, does Skarm even get rocks or is it just
It does.
spikes?
Scum gets rocks and spikes.
Okay, and then obviously Nihilego. I
Love
just
that
like the
mon.
new team
I love the new team,
in
man.
general.
In love with the new
I
team.
I get the Munchlax pick, not the 2 pointer I would have picked, uh, but
I think there were
I
definitely
understand it.
options for 2 pointers, but
Well, I
I'm
mean,
pretty
like
happy with it.
realistically, there are still some top tier ghosts, despite us cutting spec.
Yeah,
Because you
like
might have to face,
spec is
or
not the
I guess
entire type, right?
you already faced Pult. I guess there's like potential Gengars and
Yeah,
Curselas and Annihilates. Well, that shit on it with
yeah.
a fighting move, but
Well, the point is like it is a ghost type answer, and I definitely was not looking ahead for
your schedule or
like
anything.
my schedule when making these changes because I don't believe like it was a second grace, and I just don't believe in like looking ahead and trying to like shark people. I just wanted to make like a good team and give myself the tools,
Of
uh,
course,
and I'm
I
very
just
happy with. with it overall. I definitely, yeah, the Munchlax could have been something else, but it's whatever for
Could
2 points,
could
right?
have been a Billy. Could have been a Billy. A
Yeah,
Billiams. Honestly, hear me out. Is it Big Boof season? Or could it have been Big Boof season?
it probably could have been Big Boof season. I considered normal Porygon in the same vein as like a teleport Eviolite defensive mon. Is like maybe
Fair.
better than Munchlax just by virtue of
The thing is,
having teleport.
Munchlax stats are fucking insane, aren't they?
Yeah, aside from Bro having a deeply unserious 5 speed.
And the 40 defense is a little
Yeah, but
whack, but Eviolite
the
fixes it.
HP and stuff are
Eviolite and
crazy.
the HP, Eviolite and the HP stat make it
And
usable.
I'm not super struggling to take physical hits, right? Like I have Zygarde, I have Skarm.
Exactly. Yeah. Uh, Vaporeon and Nihilego would like a little bit more defensive help physically, but it's definitely workable.
Yeah,
Because you can have something like Whimsicott, which can come max defense.
exactly.
So, yeah, I just like the new team more.
I
I
love
think.
this. Like I was team building last night for my week 3 game, and it was just like making me happy, which I
Mhm.
can't always say about like draft prep. But
Yeah,
like just the fact that all of these mons are exciting to me and are like making it an enjoyable process to team build and look forwards to my games. For a
I'm a
while,
little
it's like my
sad.
favorite part of draft has been the draft, not the game.
That's how I was starting off.
So
Now I'm really enjoying
I love this
prepping.
team.
Um, I'm a little sad to see Raging Bolt get axed.
Yeah, but we
Um,
talked, right, and it's like it kind of had to happen, right? Because Victini is basically an electric type.
I mean, yeah, but yeah, I just know you were talking about wanting to click fucking V create every week. I don't know. I feel
I
like
don't think I've
I
clicked
feel like
VCreate once so far. I think I've been special both weeks. But, like, Victini loves clicking Bolt Strike. Like, it's its second best move outside of VCreate.
yeah, I
And
get it though, because like, what ground type are you getting other than Zygarde? Are you getting like fucking the Nidos? Honestly, like weren't that bad, but I know you're a big you're big
I
into
really
trying
wanted to go
Nihilego.
Nihi. Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, I think the Nidos are frauds. I'm not gonna lie.
I think
Nido
they've been,
Queen
the
less
speed
so.
tiers mean they've been power crept, unfortunately.
Yeah,
They're still good.
I, they're good. Don't get me wrong. I just think they're still too high on a lot of people's boards.
I think they could definitely go down like a point or two on our own board. And then they
I
get to be
just
like really cool value picks.
yeah, it's like anyways, it's like the Nidos or I don't even know what else you're picking as a
I,
ground
I
type.
I'm in the same boat as you where I just hate a bunch of the ground types. I hate like a lot of ground types.
I do too.
And
That's why I've drafted like Blood Moon
I
twice, regular Ursaluna twice.
I adore Zygarde, man. It's such a cool mon. Thousand Arrows is such an insane move.
It really is. Um, but yeah,
It might
I
be
just really
like
like
one
the
of my
team.
favorite moves in the game.
It's one of the most spammable,
Hmm.
if not the most spammable move.
It feels almost like ground type knockoff. Like that feeling you get when you click it, and it's like no matter what happens.
You're getting a good result.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no drawbacks to it.
Yeah,
I like Zygarde's versatility. It's just I don't know.
it does a lot.
It's just not for me. I think it's a little not as offensive as it wants to be, but not like I don't use it as defensively as it can be.
Hmm.
So it's like I'm not getting the max value out of it.
I think that's why it's like a lot more of a me mon than a you mon, is because I'm realizing I'm way more of like a bulky offense player.
Yeah.
Like I adore this style of team. Like this is probably the first team I've ever drafted where it's like perfectly meshed with like the style of game I want to play. So I'm really looking
Well,
forward to it.
and that's a result of you drafting a bunch of teams that haven't been your
Yeah,
style to
exactly.
play. So yeah.
I'm
Is
excited
there
to
anything
play with this team.
else?
Excited to draft similar teams in the future.
Anything else you want to talk about outside of our teams?
I don't think so. We didn't get any nominations for this week. There has been a nomination, but we will talk about it next week with the week 3 games. Um, but I
Yeah.
believe, I mean, I'm happy with
Oh, do
everything.
you want to go over the leaderboard and stuff? I think you did it last week with the
Yeah,
sheet,
we might as well,
but
right?
yeah,
So our top 3 for players right now. Um, Crook is leading because he has played his 3rd game. However, I do believe he would have been in at least the top 5, if not the top 3, had he not played his 3rd game. Let me
it's
just double check
because
that actually.
I was on mobile. Trust. It's like, have you
Yeah, so
seen the
he
meme?
won
It's like,
his game by 2.
right, too. Have you
So
seen the
yeah, he would have been in
he'd be
3rd.
in third. Have you seen the I don't even know if they're like memes, but it's like old people at like family reunions talking about how they would have went to the NBA if they didn't have a knee injury in like middle school. That's me with not getting statics or me playing on mobile,
Yeah, it's
despite playing on mobile for like 3 years
yeah, it's
before this last year.
everyone just kind of like nods their head and keeps their thoughts to
Yep,
themselves.
literally. Damn, that's crazy.
Like
Who asked?
I'm just like, yeah, I'm gonna let him have this. It doesn't give me any benefit to tell him he's wrong.
Literally. But yeah,
But yeah, so Crook would have been in 3rd place had he not been an absolute gamer and played his 3rd week game uh, before the weekend, because everyone just plays their games on weekends. Which would have left us with Dax in 1st place at 2-0 with a diff of +9, and
hey,
Ren.
at
Sorry.
least we have a leader with a logo now.
True, Dax with no name, no logo. I don't blame him. It's hard to come up with a name and a logo that really fits. Um, Ren actually in 2nd, 2-0 with a +7. This is Ren's first ever foray into draft. I don't know if you knew.
Really?
Yeah, and they have been popping off. They're an absolute. I've played League of Legends with them before. Um,
You you
I've
mentioned
met
what
them
the fuck is
through
a non-toxic
Chimera.
game?
Yeah, man, Mon's not toxic for sure. I think.
It's only toxic if you make it toxic.
Yeah, it's only toxic when I'm forced to interact with 17-year-olds who had to go through COVID. The
It's only
social
toxic.
capacity of a 14-year-old.
It's only toxic when I get crit twice when it matters and miss a gunk shot and get told the game would have went the same when I annihilate 6-0s.
True.
Purely hypothetical.
Yeah, completely random situation. But yeah, Ren's great. I've had a lot of fun chatting with them
Have they played
since draft
ladder or
started.
anything before? Like
They
any
have
experience in
played
ladder?
in the past. They are
Okay.
they're a Pokemon boomer like me. They played a lot of.
Uh,
I mean, you could
like
tell by their team.
the
They played a
actual
lot of like
games.
the Gen 5, 6. I'm not
Yeah.
sure exactly on when Ren played, but I know they talked about how they'd played in the past, but not draft.
Yeah.
This is their first foray into draft, and I think it's really
Interesting.
cool that Ren's popping the fuck off. I'm excited. I believe
It
I play
is.
against Ren, so.
If I do, I'm sorry, Ren. You're getting handed the L. Anybody I see on my schedule, I'm talking mad shit, and I'll back
Yeah,
it up.
yeah, for real. And then
I'm an egotistical motherfucker.
you and I in 4th and 5th, or I guess in this case it would still be 4th and 5th at 2-0 +4 and 1-1 +5 respectively.
Large Tove and six.
Large Tove indeed. 1-1 at +2. And then for our kill leaders, my Gren is still top on the board. 2 games, 7 and 0.
My Darmanitan somehow got 2 kills last week. I don't remember either of those.
I believe Happy Celesteela in 2nd got a clean sweep off against
Was it
Skalisapod.
a
Happy
six
played pretty
zero?
well. I believe Happy chipped down, I think it was the Rotom Heat, and then just completely cleared the path for Celesteela to set up and end the game. It's that dynamic Celesteela has where like it can be the tank Leech Seed set, and it could be the autonomized like setup set, and you just don't know what it
Yeah.
is
I
until.
saw. I believe it was Happy that mentioned it. It's kind of like Gen 8 ladder, where it's like a 70-30. It was mainly the bulky one, but
I think that was
If you prepare for the
Skellicipod
bulky one,
commenting on it after the game,
okay.
talking about how
I wasn't sure.
people don't run
Yeah.
setup. But I
If you prep for the bulky one, get hit by setup, you're kind of
yeah,
fucked,
exactly. And
and
like
vice versa.
it's kind of like Gren in that way, right? Where like it could be two of these different things. Obviously,
Could be
it's different, but
specs or could be battle bonds, and
yeah,
if you
exactly.
if you misprep for if you guess wrong, you're kind of fucked.
But like it's the mon is priced because of that, right? Like you have
Yeah.
to prepare for both. You have to scout. You have to yeah. And happy cleaned house with Celesteela this week. And then your Darm, two
Taking
games
care
played,
of it.
5-1. My
Hey.
Tove's Pelipper already with a better record in terms of kills and deaths than Dis's Pelipper last season.
Tove is better than Dis, confirmed.
Confirmed. Scalding hot take. We will have to see them fist fight to the death in the comments below. So
Hey,
shout
all I'm
out
gonna
Toves
say,
Pelipper having a better record than my Victini, my 20-point Terra Victini.
all I'm gonna say is, I called my, I called my Darmantan methamphetamine for a reason. It's a meth monkey. It just comes in
True.
with fucking Shimon something.
Yeah, isn't that a banned wizard spell? Summon ketamine ape?
I
Isn't that the
have
fucking
no idea.
It's a funny ass tweet of like these are now banned wizard spells.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
that's its peak.
Summon ketamine ape. Yeah.
Uh,
Anyways, I mean,
uh,
outside of Pelipper and like maybe Darmanitan, it's all pretty standard stuff until you get to Colossal.
yeah, holy. I think that
I
was
fucking love this
in
mod.
Dax's
I
game into
love the
Cole,
whole
right? It
line.
popped the fuck off.
I love the whole line. I've seen many people get 6-0'd by uh, body press Colossal with
Mm-hmm.
Terra, of
Great Terramon. I
course.
love that. I love it as Dax's second cap.
I'm so smashed that I threw away my Absol. That motherfucker literally is so good that matchup, and I threw it away.
Hey, at least Absol's on the board. Absol's doing better than Mega Maw.
Rue doing better than Eevee.
I'm calling it now. By the way, we see Ren's Blisef. I'm fully expecting this Blisef to like be top 10 at the end of the season as well.
Oh, for sure. We definitely overlooked it, I think, as a
I
Terra
I
Cap.
don't I don't know if I did. I might have, but I know
But it's
like Ren
maybe, maybe
suggested it
not.
to me or like brought up that he was thinking of picking it at like fucking 2 a.m. or something, and I was so hyped. It's such a cool pick.
Well, it's you just think about it on paper. It's not a Scarf merchant. It just loves to bring Scarf a lot of weeks.
Yeah, and
But
Terra gives it that power.
you know how spec where you just uh, kill one and then all of a sudden you're like murdering
Just
your
win.
family of four.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you just click Terra Ghost Shadow Ball, pick off something that's low, and then just win. It claims
Like, did
four
you see his
kills
game against
easily.
Rasta where he let it off rip because he knew his opponent had no resists and it just picked one?
That's base as fuck. That's
Yeah,
what I should have done
phenomenal
against
play.
Juicy. I should have just led Screen Tail set Trick Room turn one, go into Cursula.
Now, I will say the Blisef would have more kills, but Ren did get a forfeit win into Mara because Mara
Yeah,
brought
hidden
HP
power
Ice.
moment,
Yeah. But,
which was fucking sick, but unfortunately,
yeah, completely
Beta Skull
unexpected to be fair.
mods crushes Skull.
Yeah, well, it's crushed the skull. Um, so yeah, technically Blitzelfalon should have like a couple more kills because Ren they played out the game and Ren did win it. Um, unfortunately, it does have to just be ruled as a forfeit win because then otherwise we have I forget what Mon Mara had with HP Ice, but like
Zerg.
it got Zerk with HP Ice got a kill on a Lando. So like if we track kills from that game, it's completely fraudulent, right?
Mhm.
So unfortunately, it did have to be a forfeit win for Ren instead of tracking kills. But
I'm not complaining. It makes my Darm look better.
well, you wouldn't be the one to complain. I'm explaining what happened because of Ren's kills.
Uh,
But yeah, that's all. That's
yeah,
all I have to say
that's
for the week
all
three
I
recap,
got.
week two recap.
That's all I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you everybody for tuning in, watching, listening. You all are the goats. Please remember to continue to give us nominations so that we have stuff to throw in here in our weekly recaps. And I hope you all have great games in Double DL.
Yeah. Zora people also put stuff in
True.
uh what's it called? Nominations.
I'm
I
expecting
have
a disloyal nomination. I
oh
know
wait,
he's listening to this. I can see you right now in your car
wait,
on your
Wish,
commute.
you
You
nominated something. You nominated something for week 2 in
did he?
Zora. You did. It was a game. It was the
Uh,
Dax Rasta game.
I forgot honestly by now. If anything, we'll
Eh,
check it out
well,
for our final
week
awards.
3 or final awards, yeah.
Yeah. But I am looking forward to the award show for Zora because I think that shit'll be hype because they have a lot of fun stuff going on.
I agree.
Alrighty.
Are we planning on doing 2 separate award shows? I think that's probably best.
It's probably, yeah, because I'd like to do them. I'd like to have more awards than last time, so it's probably best to have
I
two
would
shows.
too. Uh, I like that. I like the idea.
Anyways, thank you all for
That's
listening.
all for us.
Yeah. Alright. Take care.
Bye.